friends, welcome back to the Craft Castle. My name is Ashley and I am back with an Xtool tutorial. And today, it's going to be something that you've probably seen before if you've watched any of my previous videos. They are going to be taking our handwritten recipes and turning them into something that we can gift give. Now, in previous videos, I've shown you how to take engraved recipe boards like this, handwritten recipes, and turn them into wooden works of art. In previous tutorials, I have shown you how to do that in your Glowforge. Also, I've done it for a sublimation tutorial, but today we're going to be using the Xtool P2 for this program, and then we are not going to do a wooden board. We are going to be doing a plate. Yeah, we're going to be doing a porcelain plate. Now, I do have to tell you, both of these right here, I never suggest actually using them for food. They're definitely decoration only, but we can engrave a plate. Does this, is this distracting? You know, when I first got my P2, I wanted to test out to see if it can engrave on plates, and it totally can. So a few years ago, I have a totally different laser from a different laser company, and I figured out that I can engrave plates as decorations because my laser was that powerful and it could do it. So one of the very first things I wanted to try with the P2 was if it can engrave plates, and it definitely can. Again, not food safe. This is definitely decoration only. We are not going to do Yobra today. We're going to be doing a handwritten recipe. I'm going to show you the way that I would prefer to do the handwritten recipes. You could stay all within the Xtool program for this. I kind of think that's not the cleanest way of doing things. So I'm going to show you the way that I would do them. And I prefer my way, so that's the way I'm going to show you. Maybe it might take you a couple extra steps longer, but the end result of what you get is definitely hands down way better than what you can get anywhere else. All right, are you ready? Let's get started. If you had your recipe on hand, then you would want to grab that right now. I don't have a handwritten recipe. I just have a picture that was sent to me, so I'm going to show you how to do it that way. However, I have these two little things right here just to show you what it would look like if we actually had the picture on hand. Okay, going to your phone, the very first thing you want to do is open up Adobe Capture. This is a free app, so we're just going to open that up. This is going to open. You're going to come down here into the camera button. Okay, if we were to have our recipe on hand, we're going to put this over here. And do you see how the camera is like picking up the writing? Whoops, I just tapped it and it took a picture. If you don't like that, you can just press that X. Okay, it is picking up in black and white the lettering of my tag. Now, you can move your dial to the right, making it more powerful, or you can move it to the left and see how it's not very dark. So this is all personal preference. Going over into this one right here, let's do that. We'll just look at it. See how the letters in think are disappeared? If we go, see how now you can see all them? So you adjust this dial right here to your liking. Now, I don't have the recipe on hand. I only have a picture that was sent to me. So what I'm going to do is press this button that's down here. And I also would like to note that the pictures, better lighting equals better pictures. So if you have a picture that was sent to you and it's dark lighting, then that probably isn't going to be the best. It will work, it just won't be the best. Okay, so going into my camera roll, I'm going to click on the picture that was sent to me. This is going to be the picture. Let me just take my dial and I'm going to tone it down just a little bit. Now, my person that wants this recipe really only wants the recipe for Creole frosting and then all of this. They don't want really of the lines. So I'm just going to go pretty low, trying to get rid of most of my stuff. When I have that, I'm just going to press this check mark. Okay, this is going to pop up. Clearly, we have a little bit of erasing to do. So then I'm going to go down here to the erasing, and I'm just going to erase what I do not want. Okay, when you're done with the erasing, you could go into done, and then you could also crop this too, just to make this a bit smaller if you wanted to. And then I'm going to go back into refine, and I'm going to erase these lines right here. So you just want to clean up your picture as best as what you would like it to be. Oh, and you know what? I deleted some of that salt, so we're just gonna press this arrow button, go back, and there it is right there. Okay, I could go in and I could really fine detail, clean up all those lines. I'm not going to. I think it adds to the look. We're just gonna press done. And then you wanna press save. We're gonna press save. You could rename this if you wanted to, but we're just gonna press save again. Okay, clicking over in my library, you can see I've done this several times. You just wanna click on the one that you just did, and what you want to do is you want to come up here to this little folder to, and you want to go to share to, and you want to airdrop this or send this to your computer. Okay, now let's go back to the computer. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is open up just a Safari window, and then up in the search we're going to do remove.bg, and then just press return. Okay, finding that file that we sent over to our computer, you just want to drag and drop it into that upload image. Here it is right here. Okay, when it has removed the background, now all you want to do is just press download. Okay, that was the hardest part. Now we're going to go into the creative space, the Xtool creative space, and I'm going to take that downloaded file that we just did. Now I'm going to drag and drop it into the Xtool program. And there is our beautiful recipe right there. Okay, let's go head over to the Xtool and prepare our machines to allow for it to be able to engrave a plate. Okay, so here's my Xtool with the slats installed. Now, if you take the plate that you're using and you put it underneath your head and try and wiggle this around, it won't. This plate is too tall to fit underneath your head. So what you're going to need to do is take all your slats out. Okay, now that I have that done, taking your plate, if we put this underneath here and we go back to the Xtool, what will happen is the Xtool will say your piece of material is too far away from the laser head. So what you want to do is taking some sort of extra material. This is the corrugated cardboard that came with my machine. I'm just going to put it underneath my plate, and I want to bump up my plate to where those slats would be. So there is like completely flush right here. If you were doing one of these, you would want this right here to be flush with the very top of here. This will not work because it's just a little bit lower. So you would still want to add something more to make it completely flush. Now for my particular plate, I just needed this like starter corrugated material and then put that down in here. Now with your machine turned off, what you would want to do is move your head around, making sure it doesn't knock your plate over. Because my machine's turned on, I'm not going to do that. However, I have tested it before. This head moves freely with my corrugated material underneath. Okay, now that we have this risen enough, now this following step, Xtool definitely suggests, there is like a sticker at the front of your machine that says do not use without the tray. However, I do not have a riser base, so I'm gonna do it the way that I know how. So if you were to take out your tray, you will notice that there is this like little thing right here. This is what's gonna tell your Xtool that the tray is in place. So what I'm going to do is when it's locked into place, I'm just going to pull it out just a little bit until I feel that silver thing is no longer engaged. When I do that, now I can move this around and the Xtool will work for me. Now what I want to do is, here is your camera. You want to arrange your plate in the middle of this camera. This just helps with better alignment. There we go. Okay, then all you want to do is just shut this and we'll head back over to our computer. Alrighty, so the next thing you want to do is just click out of that. And over here, we took out that slot. So we're going to click on that and we're going to go into open plane. Then what you want to do is come over here and we are going to just click on top of our plate. Okay, now what you want to do is put your recipe on your plate. Okay, so clicking your recipe, what you want to do is change your settings over. I'm going to be using 100 power and 150 speed. Now, I always suggest that these are parameters. My machine is not the same as your machine. We may be using the same type of machine, but depending on how old your laser head or even the thickness of your plate, your settings might be a little bit different. So I always suggest on using my settings as parameters. Then what you want to do is press process, and then you want to press start. We're going to head over to the Xtool, and we're just going to press that magic button. Now that the plate's done, we're just going to open this up. I do suggest checking to make sure that there is an engraving. There is an engraving on mine. If there's not, then you can just reprocess it at as long as you don't move the plate, that you could reprocess it with a higher setting and just press the start button, and you'll be okay to reprocess, and you won't have like any ghosting or weird engravings, but you want to make sure and not move the plate. So for me, I can feel that there is a very good engraving on here. Remember, these are not for eating off of. These are just going to be display. What you essentially did was take the top coat, the glazing of your porcelain plate off. So now what you have revealed is the porous porcelain. And so that's going to like have bacteria and germs. So you definitely don't want to eat off of this. But I can feel that there is something on there. And when I lift this up, it's going to be hard to see, but there is like some just roughness going on. Okay, it's going to look like nothing. We're going to go change this into something here in a second. Okay, so here is our plate. You can see that there is a little bit of writing, like an engraving on there. Before I show you what I use to mark these plates, we could have used this spray right here. What you would do is spray it onto your plate. A light thin coat works, and then you would just put it into your laser engraver and engrave it. The reason why I did not go this way is because this can right here is actually really expensive. I think it was like $30 or $40 for this small can. I'll link it in the description of the video if you wanted to go this route. I use it for glass as well, so it's definitely very versatile. But again, this little can is very expensive. So my alternative to that is taking a Sharpie. This right here is just an Amazon Basic permanent marker. What you want to do, and don't be worried about getting it anywhere else, you can get messy with it, and you just want to rub your Sharpie over your recipe. Now again, be mindful. I'm sure people are going to watch this and cringe because I'm putting Sharpie on a plate, but these are not food safe. Once you take the glaze off of your plates, these plates are no longer food safe. Decoration only. So I'm putting Sharpie on there. That's fine by me because I'm not going to be eating off of it anyhow. The other thing that I do like about using the Sharpie is, let's say you were using like a kid's drawing. What you could do is get like colorful Sharpies and color in all the engravings with the colors. And so you'd have a colorful engraving. But I'm just going to use black because black seems to look the cleanest and best once you're done. Okay, so this is what your plate's going to look like after you're done filling in all of your engravings. Do you see that? You can see that my engraving is definitely showing up a lot better now. Now what you want to do is take this to your sink and use some dish soap or even Dawn Power Wash, and we are going to scrub away all the excess. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what your finished plate is going to look like after we get done washing your plate off. Just to show you, because I haven't shown you what the original recipe looked like, this right here was what the original recipe looked like. This was what was sent to me. So we went from this to this, and it took the Xtool 8 minutes and 48 seconds to engrave this. So in total, by taking this picture, uploading it into Adobe Capture, going to remove background, and then setting up the machine, we were done in about 15 minutes in real time. So very quick and easy project, and it is so stinking cute. So even this right here didn't look all that amazing. I mean, it was really corroded right here, and it, was not a great picture. And then we went to something like this. What a perfect gift, right? So stinking cute. I did also forget to mention this plate is from the Dollar Tree. It was $1.25 for this. So even a cheap gift, but it is so, like, although it's cheap, it's a very meaningful gift. How stinking amazing is that? All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create. and I'll see you later.